It's the Tell Me Something Good podcast.
Because we believe that there is still good in the world.
Hi, I'm Lori Gray.
And I'm Rob Joe. We talk about the good things happening at Christ United Methodist Church here in Greensboro, North Carolina.
And we have a little fun, too.
We're so glad you're here.
Rojo, you ready?
Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
Or podcast.
Yes, let's get this podcast on the road.
Well, good morning, Rojo.
Welcome back stateside.
Thank you so much.
So glad that you're back safe and sound.
Thank you. I'm very tired today.
For those of you who don't know, Lori just got back from a trip to Puerto Rico.
Yes, I did.
With our annual conference. So,
yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It was a great trip. I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I got very frustrated because my Spanish is so bad and I've forgotten it all. But I am back on task now, and I am gonna make myself fluent. I'm working on it. So
I can say queso.
Yeah.
And ask where the bathroom is.
Yes,
and that's about
donde
it.
está el
So
baño?
you're probably light years ahead of me. All right. So was
yeah.
that your something good?
Well, I tell you. So okay, my something good. We went to a worship service on Sunday, and it was 2 hours.
Wow.
And it did not seem like 2 hours.
Okay.
I really didn't know everything they were talking about.
Sure.
Because they did translate a little bit, but it was so joyful, and it was Youth Sunday.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then they brought up the kids that were going back to school, and they anointed them for the year, and it was a Methodist church in Puerto Rico. So it was really cool. It was, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I cried a little bit because it was just beautiful. And anyway, it was so much fun. And we've made some really good partnerships down there with some of the people, and we're going to work on some things. Our church is going to work on some things. I'll talk about that after I've met with Katie and Garrett. But it was great, and we did some like not churchy stuff too. Which is still kind of churchy stuff, just to see God's creation. So we went to the rainforest, and of course we went to the beach. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
And the people are so kind and caring and giving, and they use the word receive to receive. So they receive refugees from all of the islands around them. Okay. And the way they talk about receiving people, they receive them as they are gifts. And I thought, what if we all received people as gifts and looked at them, because they are gifts. God has given us all these wonderful people. Yeah. And that's
what a cool mindset.
Yeah, and that's the way. I mean, and so even with us, they called us the missionaries, which was, I felt kind of weird about that. But I mean, they just receive you with care and love and gratitude for who you are, and it was lovely. It was lovely, and so anyway, that's my something good.
So back when I was in high school, I went with Western North Carolina annual conference to Nassau, Bahamas for a couple of different summers, and just when you were talking about the worship service that you went to and like how impactful being a part of that community was, like not only in a worshipful way but in a service oriented way. There's just something so special about going into a community, them receiving you, and you just worshiping alongside someone. And they spoke, for the most part, Creole. Is that right? Okay. Yeah. So like we didn't necessarily know what was going on, and they were singing praise songs that sounded somewhat familiar, and eventually someone would be like, "Oh, that's how great is our God," or whatever the song was. And so it was really cool because we sat there and they would be singing in their native tongue and we were singing in English, and somehow, really just through the Holy Spirit, it just was such a beautiful encounter.
Yeah, we talked about that when the pastor was up and she was doing her benediction. Or just anytime she prayed, we didn't necessarily know exactly what she was saying, but you didn't have to.
Yes.
You could just feel it.
Gift. Yeah.
It was great. It was a good trip. But you were talking about, so they speak predominantly Spanish.
Okay.
But then there's a little bit of Creole too, because so we went in one church, and she was speaking both.
Oh wow.
So and we did a little bit of mission work while we were there. We one church we went in, and they split us up into two groups, and one group went down and chopped vegetables and stuff for lunch, because they kind of serve food to the community 3 to 4 times a week. And then I was with a group that stayed upstairs, and we helped them change out their paraments and change out the flowers.
Oh, man.
And the paraments were all handmade, and the lady that made them was there. She was ironing, and we were playing music, and they were all singing. And this one song, and I love the song, but I swear it went on for like 30 minutes. And they have, and this is so much fun. They have tambourines in the pews. Like, people just,
fancy.
I had a tambourine. Of course I did. It was so much fun. And they taught us a little bit of salsa, and so that was fun. And then we left there and went to another church where they were going to be receiving Pastor Luis, a young pastor, and we cleaned the church for them.
Okay.
So we swept and mopped and dusted and got the church ready to receive him on Sunday for the first time. But then he came Saturday afternoon. We got to meet him, and we had gelato.
Oh man.
I know.
You were talking about changing the paraments and all that kind of stuff, and just gave me like chills.
It was just lovely.
So
it was
cool.
It was so good. And we learned at that church. We also learned some of the history of the island too. So it was really cool. It was really cool.
Well, welcome back.
Thank
I'm so glad that you had that experience.
It feels like I have not done this in a month.
It's only been 7 days.
I know, but it feels like a month. So tell me you're something good for the week.
So this coming Sunday, August 18th, right? August 18th, we're starting our new kind of like fall-ish worship series. It's called What's in Your Backpack. So for the next 4 weeks, each of our pastors will be taking a Sunday and preaching on what's, quote, in their backpack. And so ahead of that, or ahead of any new worship series, we always film some kind of a short video, or at least put together a short video that is played as a sermon intro. And so what we did for this time, or like this worship series, is, well, I won't give it all away, but we filmed a couple clips using some of our Christ Kids and our Christ Youth. And so afterwards, Pastor Garrett and I were talking in advance of this and said, gosh, wouldn't it be so funny? There's this really funny guy that's on YouTube and Netflix, etc. His name is Billy Eichner, and he does this thing called Billy on the Street. So he'll run up to strangers, random strangers, and ask them just really funny questions. Or he'll ask them, like, for $1, name 3 kinds of herbal tea. And then, you're on the spot. You can't think of 3 kinds of herbal tea. Maybe you can, I don't know. But so we did a little parody of that. We called it Gary on the Street, and we had Pastor Garrett running up to all these Christ Kids and youth being like, "What's in your backpack? What's in your backpack?" Or let's see, like if there was a famous person in history that needed a backpack, who would it be and why? So we filmed that segment and we posted it yesterday, and it is very funny. But then again, most things with Pastor Garrett are quite humorous.
Yeah. So speaking of funny, I'm so sad that I was not here in worship yesterday. No, Sunday. Today is Tuesday. We're recording this on Tuesday. My week's days are all mixed up from traveling. But you showed the video, the blooper of Pastor Morris falling. How well was that received? Did people laugh?
So for our most recent worship series, Olympic Faith, we had, clips of everybody running the torch through town on our way back to the church. And so when we were filming for this, our very first take of the last scene was supposed to be Pastor Garrett passing the torch to Pastor Morris and running it up to the front doors. So the quote opening.
I better not drink
games.
my tea.
Please don't spit on me. I'm not in my rain jacket.
Well, I almost died that one time. I got choked. Remember that? Okay, never mind. Okay, keep going.
So the idea was that, Pastor Morris was running the torch for the final leg of the Olympic torch relay. Well, we're all ready to go. My sister graciously came over to film for us, and, okay, ready, set, go. And so the clip starts, and Pastor Garrett runs up to Pastor Morris. Pastor Morris takes the torch. Pastor Morris forgets that there's a curb, but the curb did not forget Pastor Morris because he took a tumble. So we have this clip of Pastor Morris just eating it on the front lawn.
So funny.
I was trying to think, did he do this on purpose?
Because he said before, he was like, we should all run up and just fall in the grass. And so,
oh, I didn't hear him say that. Okay.
Because he said, so when that happened,
yeah,
I thought that he meant to do it, but then I realized pretty quickly that he did not mean to do it.
And when you play the clip back, the at the end,
it just makes it even funnier.
That was very authentic and very painful, it sounded. So so we ended up doing a second clip where we were like, make sure to pick up your feet.
Yeah, step up on the curb.
Do not eat it again. So for the first 5 weeks of the worship series, we used the clip of him running and stepping up onto the curb. But on Sunday, Pastor Morris's sermon to kind of round out our series was about wisdom for the long run. So like how the marathon is what closes out the Olympic Games every time that they do it. And so he asked me to cut that clip in of him falling, which perfectly lined up with the story that he was using about how we need people in our lives to help get us. I mean, it makes me like, again, kind of like chill bumps to think about it. Like how we need people in our lives to run alongside us, like in this race that we call life. And so the clip, obviously, as funny as it is, really had quite a deep meaning, like when you saw it and then heard his message and then were able to reflect on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that, every time I think about it, just makes me
But the sound that he makes when he falls, it'll make you just
And if you want to see it, it's on TikTok.
Yes.
And it's on did you put it on our Instagram too?
I think it's also on our YouTube. I mean, Instagram.
Yeah.
We will check on that.
Yeah, because it's so funny. It's so funny. And that's one of the things, I mean, I think most everybody on our staff, we all know how goofy we can be.
Sure.
And we fall down sometimes. And so, but we can laugh at ourselves.
Sure.
Along with everybody laughing at us.
Sure.
They were laughing with us.
Yes. The hope, I guess, is that our community, but but specifically our faith community, those that are with us weekly, like see that we love each other, we love what we do, we love God. Like it's not just all business.
Right.
It's an authentic interaction between all of us.
That's what I was going to say. Authentic. We're definitely authentic.
Yes.
If nothing else, we're authentic.
We are ourselves to a fault.
Yes. Just anyway, it's like Morris walking in this morning and says, Lori Gray, I need to see you in my office. I got a call from the Puerto Rican government. I'm like, that's real funny.
And that would have surprised no one. No offense to you.
Okay, well, I was very well behaved. You can ask all of my new friends.
All your new best friends.
All my new best friends.
Well, let's start with the love section.
Okay.
What's going on this coming week that we want to talk about?
Well, we have our upcoming, I keep want to talk about this because I want people to know about it, but our one service on September 8th. I'm super excited about that. It's at 10 o'clock. We have Welcome Wednesday this week. It's our last one for the summer. And I hope it doesn't rain so the kids can be outside on their bikes and stuff. And then also... sorry, just 1 second. So to back up to the one service, we are also, in addition to all the festivities that are going on, with the worship service and meal, that is actually going to be the day that our CEC, Kids Ahead, Christ Kids Ministry, all those entities are going to be, quote, like unveiling or like ribbon cutting this new playground space. Yeah. So. I love that we are combining all of that. It's like a big celebration that whole day, just celebrating our, fellowship and everything. It's going to be so great. I can't wait.
Sorry. Okay.
No. I'm glad you said that because I had forgotten because I think I need to add that to the bulletin for this week. Yeah, so we have Welcome Wednesday this week, and our senior adults, are going to the Andy Griffith Museum, and I know we talked about that last week because we talked about that my family's from Mount Airy, and we talked about Andy and George Papard and Matlock. So that was fun. If you didn't hear that, you can go back and listen to last week's. This week, this Sunday, we have our Gen X meetup. Mm-hmm. Super excited about that. See my Gen X friends.
We also have 2 Christ Youth things that are coming up. So one of which is we have the Family Information Dinner, which is a great way to come and get involved, maybe meet Pastor Garrett for the first time.
Yes.
And that is August the 25th, so not this Sunday, but next, at 6 p.m. in the Fellowship Center. And the other thing that I'm excited about, although I'm not a huge sports person, as you might know, but the Christ Youth and their families are going to be going to what they call, I think, Family and Faith Day. It's a part of a Wake Forest football
that's
event
fun.
thing. So that's something new that may or may not be in like in the messenger bulletin this week, but it will be in the next few weeks. It's the middle of September. So
cool.
Not that it's coming up soon, but just to mark your calendars if you have youth or if you're a family that wants to go. The tickets for that are, I believe, $30 a person, and that includes a small meal, your ticket. There will be like kind of a worship service before the game starts, and then the game starts, I think, at 6:30.
That's very cool. Pastor Garrett was telling me they've pretty much almost gotten the youth calendar done for the year.
Fantastic.
So I'll see that later this week, and I'll get that
Cool.
on the website. Yeah. The other thing that's happening this Sunday is the blood drive. Mm-hmm. So what better way to love your neighbor than to give blood?
Yeah, and that's from
lives.
8 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Christ
gym.
Church gym.
Yeah. So if you come to our church and you're wanting to give blood, and I would register online first of all to save yourself some time. So it's redcrossblood.org, and the sponsor code is ChristUMC. I would definitely register, just for convenience sake.
Sure.
And if you do come to our church for the blood drive, if you come in the main entrance and go around to the left side of the building, that's where the gym is. Mm-hmm. And we have it's great. You can come in the front door. We will walk you back to the gym.
Sure.
But it's a little bit of a hike.
Steps,
Save you a few steps. So just know, our gym is over on if you're facing the front of our church, it's on the left side of the building. So there's
That's awesome.
that. Yeah, what else do we have going on? Oh, last week, our middle school youth did, they had their mission week. So this kind of preps them to get ready to go on the South Carolina mission trip. Yep. And so they did some stuff around here at the church, but they also built benches for Camp Gilrock, which was so sweet. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, so they got some hands-on. They got to use some power tools and hang out in the heat.
Yeah, they got to hang out in the heat.
You get to.
What a bonus.
You get to do it. So anyway, so that's really cool. So something else good. You know, more good stuff. Anyway.
Well, if there was anything that you heard today that you want more information about, you're welcome to join us on our website at christgreensboro.org.
Or if you would like to ask us a specific question, or you can't remember the website, or you just want to say hello, feel free to email us at info@christgreensboro.org. We would love to hear from you. We would love to have you come visit us at our church on Sunday mornings. We have a contemporary worship service at 9 a.m. in our fellowship center, and our traditional service is at 11. And right now, in between services, we have a combined Sunday school hour where we're having Demystifying Disability. So you can join us for that in between.
This is totally impromptu, but I think that it's about time that we have another special guest. So I think we're going to try to line someone up for next week's episode. One of our wonderful coworkers. We've already checked off all of our pastoral team.
Yes.
So maybe we'll try to find someone to join us next week, and we can grill them.
Okay.
Right in front of all of our listeners.
Yes. I love having special guests. Yes. I can't wait. So obviously you know who you want to have.
No, I really don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I just thought, it's about time, because we do it kind of once a month-ish.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So we will get back to you, dear listeners,
yes.
with a special treat for you next week.
That sounded very Bridgerton.
I know.
Dear listener.
I don't actually watch Bridgerton.
Oh, it's so good.
But I've heard that phrase on TikTok before.
Yeah.
So.
Gentle reader. Dear gentle reader. That's what she says.
I don't ever read, so I can't
all right.
called that.
Okay. We've got off track.
Well,
sorry.
Y'all, we are so glad that you made time to be with us this week, and we hope that you know that you were loved.
Yes, have a great week, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.